Hello, welcome to another life insurance video. This is Chad McMahon with Protect with Insurance, our website, protectwithinsurance.com. Now this episode is about how do you avoid probate with your life insurance. And this is a very important topic. A lot of people don't know what probate is, so I'm going to briefly explain just a short and simple version of what is probate, and then I'm going to dive in on how do you avoid it, because this is something that is terrible for our beneficiaries to have to deal with that with something like life insurance that's supposed to skip probate entirely. So first of all, what is probate? Probate, the simple version, look for a better definition online, but the simple version is probate is when you pass away and the state that you live in, they grab a hold of your assets. This can include a myriad of things, anything from bank accounts to real estate, other things of value. They can grab onto that and they can say, hey, you're not allowed to transfer ownership of these things. You're not allowed to access these things until we figure out who is supposed to receive this. And so probate is the time when family members, even friends, Joe Bob that you've never met, anyone is going to say, hey, I have a claim to that estate, anything that's being passed down from your passing. And probate is that period of time where all of that is dealt with. Length of time for probate can be anywhere from a month to 2 or 3 years. Now, usually probate is going to be a minimum of 6 months, and usually it's about 6 months to about 18 months. It's a long time. So if you can imagine, if you pass away, and this is a terrible thing to imagine, but if you pass away someday and your loved ones need the money or the value that you have in your estate and they can't access it. So probate is a very serious thing. Now, life insurance, if done correctly, if written correctly by an agent that's savvy, that knows what they're doing, it's going to completely avoid probate to where it instantly goes from your passing to your loved ones receive the benefit of that policy without delay. So that's the goal. And how you do that is when you're structuring your life insurance policy, it's all about how you write in your beneficiaries. Now, if you're doing a term life insurance policy, whole life insurance policy, burial insurance, mortgage protection, all these variations of term and whole life insurance. Any of those, if you name a specific beneficiary, meaning a person, not in a state, but a person, or if you name a trust, that is going to solve your problem. That is the short and dirty version of it. Now, there are a lot of people that they don't have a trust. Instead, they have an estate, which is formed when you create a will. Okay, a will and a trust are very different things. A trust is vastly superior to a will, but a will can be free or very cheap to set up, whereas a trust is going to cost more money and take more consideration. And it's a good idea to have an attorney draw that up for you. Not required, but it's a good idea to do that, so it's done right. Same thing with a will, by the way. You should always have an attorney take a peek at it or draw it up from scratch for you and then take care of that. So if you have a will, which forms an estate, that's better than not having an estate because, again, probate is typically going to be, well, usually it's about a year plus or minus. But I've heard from plenty of clients where two years or longer for probate. So an estate cuts down on the probate time. So it's going to cut down on it to where it's more like 3 to 6 months, or for complicated cases, closer to a year still. It's going to cut down, and that does make a big difference to your loved ones. So that is good to do that if you don't have anything in place. At least get a will going so that you have an estate. It slightly clarifies what's going to happen from your passing to who's going to receive it. And when I say slightly, I just mean in the eyes of the law. And the reason why we have probate is because there's any degree of murkiness at all about who gets it under what circumstances. And there is commonly a lot of debate about that when people pass away. A lot of people reach their hands out and they say, mine, mine, mine. And you would never expect this to happen. These are people that are generally seen as good people, generous people. And then when they think they might have a shot at part of an estate or all of an estate, they change. So this is something that's very hard to predict. And that's why it's so important to take care of your affairs in this way. So again, the way that you avoid probate completely with your life insurance, you don't want that to go out to the estate and have other people try and grab up the policy benefit. So what you do is, your life insurance policy, you name a specific person, has to be a family member, domestic partner, can't be a friend, has to be a biological connection somehow. Or again, the exception is domestic partner, that does work as well. Now, if you name an estate as your beneficiary, you can absolutely do that. Just know that the life insurance payout is going to be impacted by probate. It's going to be the shortened version of probate. It's going to be, the estate version of probate, but it's going to go out there. It's going to mingle with that. And then as soon as the state gives it their stamp of approval, then the life insurance policy amount is going to go to the beneficiary, which is the estate. And then it's going to trickle down to wherever it needs to be. So just know that going into it. The best way you can do this, if you want to either you're thinking, oh, do I get an estate? Do I do a trust? At least call a couple trust attorneys and say, how much would this cost me to do just a basic trust? It might be less than you think, and there might be a way to work that out. That's the absolute best thing you can do for a lot of reasons. And I guarantee you, your loved ones, you pass away, your loved ones are going to say, oh, thank goodness that she did this or he did this and put together this trust so that this went smoothly and quickly. So I hope this has been helpful. Please reach out to us, call us, visit our website. If we can help you with anything else, we want to know and we want to take care of you. All right, stay safe out there.